Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well. In this video, we're going to learn about Next.js. In my previous video, I mentioned that the Next 13 has released, and in the new update, they have made the app directory as stable. Now the app directory is actually production ready. So in this tutorial, we're going to learn about the Next 13 and the app directory, how to use it, and also we're going to create an awesome quiz app in Next 13. So let me show you the demo of the project. You can see here the project look like this. Here we have welcome to the trivia quiz. You can see that there are a number of questions, which is an input box. Then we have this drop down, right, where we can select the category of which category quiz you would like to play, and then the level, easy, medium, hard. We can see the type of boolean and multiple. Boolean basically means true and false question, and multiple basically means multiple choice question. So okay, let's start a quiz now. I will say entertainment and film. I will choose level to obviously be medium. I will choose the type to be multiple, and I'll just start quiz now. Okay, it will see this beautiful skeleton first. Then we go to our question number 1. We have scored 0 right now. Which of the following is not an code from, I don't know the question and answer, so I'll just check an answer. The first answer I guessed it and it became right answer for some reason, so I'll just say next. Now I'll just choose another answer. Obviously it is the wrong answer because the right answer is this in blue color, and everything is incorrect answer is are in red color here, so I'll just say next. So you can see the score is 1 now, and we are in question number 3. I'll choose this. This is the right answer. I'll choose this again, wrong answer. This code is 2. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. Wrong answer again. Okay, it's the right answer. So this code is 3. Question is 8 now. Say next. Wrong answer. It is also wrong, and you can see here I get the score of 3. Pretty bad score, but I think it's fine. The project looks good. I can again start over, and I'll just choose some other category. This time I will give an input number of like 4, only 4 question. I'll just say category to be video games. I'll just select label to be hard. I'll just select type to be boolean this time. I'll just again start a quiz. Skeleton is showing, it is loading everything. Now you can see the true and false, and I'll just check it true right now. It is right answer, so the score is 1. I'll say true again, wrong, true, wrong, false, and it's right, so the score is 2. I'll just say next, and you can see that my score is 2. So the project looks pretty good. So let's see how we can build it in Next 13 with app directory and everything. Let's start the project. Okay, so what I have here is a basic Next.js project. I'm going to run this project, so I'll just go out here and just say npm run dev. Now the project is running in localhost 3000. I'll go out here and I'll just say localhost 3000, and I get the basic project, right? So now let's first set up our component, right? So first that I have this UI component library called shadcn/ui. I'll keep the link in the description below, but basically it contains this reusable component that we can use. For example, if I want this alert box, then I can use this component, right? I can just copy and paste this component and I can use it in my project. So this is a really handy library and component library if you want to build things quicker, and I will put the link in the description below. You can have a look at it. So we're going to use drop downs and buttons from here. So yeah, so let's get started and install it in our project. I will install it through the CLI. You can see the CLI here, and I'll just copy it here, and in my project I'll go here and install the shadcn-ui. Yes, it will start installing the dependency right away. And now there are you can see here it installed the dependencies, it added the style css variables, add utilities and everything. So let me show you what it has done. You can see package.json, it added all these packages called lucid react, react merge, relevant css, animate. It basically installed all these libraries, and it configured these css variables here, and it also configured this animation and keyframes as well. It also added this util file which just takes the relevant css class, merge them, and also we can add this dynamic class name with this clsx, right? So basic stuff, it automatically does all of it for us by just that one command. You don't have to configure it yourself. Now we can start using that that component we have from here. We can use any component here easily now. Okay, so before that, let's go out into our main project, and here I'll just go to my app directory. Inside pages, I want to remove everything from here and start creating our own pages. So for that, I'll just create a section first, and inside the section I'll give it a couple of class names. So the first class name will be flex. I want it to be column, so I'll just say flex dash columns. I will just say justify to be center. I will say items to be center, and I want to give it a margin of 10. Right, so inside of here I want to create an h1 tag. So basically, let's find out some good heading. I'll go to the Flowbyte websites, flowbyte.com, and I'll search for heading like this. I'll give the link of everything in description below. So we have this heading. I'm going to copy this heading, also Control C. I'll go to my project, and here I will paste the heading. I obviously have to make it a class name. Now I can go to the project, and let's see here. It's not running, so I have to run it first. I'll just say npm run dev. Okay, so now if I refresh this, I should be getting my heading. Yeah, I want the heading to be welcome to trivia quiz, like this. Yeah, it looks good. Now the second thing I want is the section and that card. So I'll just say section here, give it a class name. So the class name will contain padding of 10 first, margin y of 10. It will contain the rounded of large, then shadow of extra large, and also I want to give it a width of 65%. Yeah, like this. So now it's great. Now after this, I want to put a lot of component inside it. The first component is input box for our number of questions, right? So I'll just go in here. I'll just search for input. I'll say input box. No, input groups. Search input field. Okay, so we have these input fields here. I'll just choose the first one, and I'll style it myself. So I'll just put copy this div, go out here and paste it. No, I'll just copy it and paste it here. Okay, so for will be HTML for, and class will be obviously class name, and this class will also be class name like this. And instead of first name, I will just say number of questions, like this. Let's see what we get here. I get an unexpected error, so let's see why that is. I guess it is because I haven't given this slash here. Yeah, so it looks great. Now the second thing I want is the placeholder. I don't like that placeholder. I'll just remove the placeholder from here. Here I will just say input type to be number, like this. ID, I don't care about the ID for now, it doesn't matter. I will just give it a default value of default value of 10. I will give it a minimum of 0. I will give it a maximum of 50. I'll save it. Okay, so if I just add it here, yeah, the number is working. Now the second thing we want is the drop down, and we want 3 drop downs. So for that I will create a component, but before that, let's get the drop down from the UI library here. So here we have this drop down menu like this. You can see here it looks like this here, and another we want to have here. So let's choose one. Yeah, I think this will do good. Yeah, I think this is fine. So to use this component and install it, I just need to copy this right here again, and I will just go and paste it. After I paste it, it will ask me where would I like to install this component. In ./component/UI, I will choose the default path and hit enter. So it will create a path called component/UI in our project now. So inside here you can see the components folder already being created, and inside UI, and it is there, it is installing this drop down menu automatically for us. It is pretty cool. So it is getting installed now. It is completely installed. So after that, I can go out here and I can just import it and use it in my project. So I'll just import it like now. Right now I'll put it right here. I just don't need this image file, so I'll just remove it like this, and I'll just put it right here just to see how it works. So I'll just copy it and put it just right outside of this div, and if I go into my project, I can just open it like this, and you can see it looks pretty fine, right? It's looking great. So now I want 3 of these. So for that, I'll just remove it from here. Obviously I don't need it here, I need it inside a project or component, sorry. So I'll just go out here. Inside my components, we have this UI, but outside of this component I want to create another component called drop zone like this, or drop down options like this. So here I'll create a new file, and I'll just say drop options like this. Okay, so inside the drop options, it will contain basically a section which contains 3 of those drop downs like this. I'll give it a class name. Class name will contain flex. Justify will be center, or I can give it evenly. Items will be center like this, and I want to give it a padding weight of 5 like this. Okay, so now the section will contain a div, and here I'll just give it a class name of padding x to be 7, padding y to be 4, width to be 1 out of 3, 33%, and I'll just give it a max of 4 like this. Now inside here, I will go to my UI component. I'll just copy it, I'll just paste it here, and then I will just copy this thing and I'll paste it here inside the div. Okay, so let's see how it turns out. If I go to my browser, refresh this, obviously I have to use that component here as well outside of the div. I'll just say drop down options like this, drop options, and refresh this, and I get this open. Okay, so it looks pretty good. A couple of things I want though, but before that I will have to create 3 of these. So inside here, I'll just copy it, paste it, and paste it like this. So I have got 3 of these now. You can see here, yeah. The first one will be select categories. Select category. It will also say like select category. Now second will contain select label. And the third one will contain select type. Okay, so the third one is here. I'll just put it at the end, and it will just contain select type. Okay, so like this. Now I want to give it a class name. I will give it a class name here. I think it will take the class name. I'll just give it a flex. I will also give it an outline of none, so that yellow outline will be not visible there. I'll just give it a justify to be between, and I give it a width of full like this. Let's see. Let's give it a shadow of LG. Yeah, so it looks pretty good. I'll just say shadow dash small. Okay, I can see the shadow. I'll just make it medium size, and padding I will just give the X padding to 10 and padding Y to be 5. Okay, so it looks decent. I will just give it, minimize it down to 3. It still look decent. I will give it rounded of large. Pretty fine until now. Another thing that I can do is I'll give it a little bit more shadow, like level and everything. I'll just another thing I will do is give it a background color on hover as well. So I'll just say hover. I'll just say BG blue 600. Another thing that is that in hover I will just give text gray 100. Okay, yeah, it looks great, right? So select type, select level and everything. Let's click here and see how that works. Yeah, it looks great. It looks fine. It looks absolutely fine for me. So I'll just copy this and I will just use it in both of the places, here as well, and I will use it here as well in the trigger, obviously, like this. Now fine. Okay, so we have select category, select label, select type. Another thing that I can do here is increase the size of this whole thing from just 65%. I think I have given the 65% to a little bit more, but for that, yeah, I'll just give it a 75%. Yeah, now it looks decent. Now the second thing I want to do is make it a little bit more big. So inside of my drop down component, where this UI drop down menu, there is this thing of like primitive subcontent. I will make it 12 rem, and I will also make it 12 rem of this drop down menu content. Now if I click here, it looks a little bit more bigger, but I will make it like 15. I think 15 will be even better, so I'll just choose this 15 here. Now if I select this, then it looks really good. Now the second thing that I want is when I select it, it is showing me this like this. I want it to be cursor, so I will just change this to like cursor to be let's see, I want the cursor to be pointer, so let's try doing it here. Let's see if it works from here. So I'll just say cursor pointer like this. Now if I go out here, it's still not pointer, so I'll just put it in my subcontent. Yeah, I think I should put it in subcontent. Maybe now it will work. Oh, it's still not working. So where can I put this cursor pointer? Let's see. Menu content, we have menu items. I think I can give it in menu items. Yeah, here, obviously. If I just say cursor pointer, now you can see I see the pointer cursor here, right? So this looks pretty decent. I think we have select labels and we have select types. Fine, I think this is good. Now the third thing that I want to create is a button which will just say start text or start quiz, sorry. So let's create a button. For that I will go inside my pages again. I will create another component for button. So let's go component, and here I'll just say button like this. Inside button I will create an index.txt file, tsx file, and React functional component like this, and it will be button. This time we will use button from flowbyte. Pick any button you want. I'll just say button here and pick one normal beautiful button. So this one alternative, right? I'll just randomly pick it up and put it here like this. So class name, and I will just call it start quiz now, like this. I want to make it a little bit more bigger, so I'll just give it padding y of like 4.5 and ax of 10. Let's see how it turns out. Obviously I have to put this component here, so I'll just say button component b. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, I get the component here, but it doesn't look that good right now. Let's see what's missing here. So okay, so it looks good here. I would rather give it 4. Yeah, it looks fine. Now I want to pack it and I want to bring it down to the center, so maybe I can just give it a flex here. Just put these two things inside a div and put a flex there, and actually put everything inside it. So I'll just say div actually like this. So I'll just say div like this, and I'll just put both of it inside. Okay, yeah, so everything looks pretty decent. In here in the button I will just give it the text to have size of LG large. Yeah, and I think I should give it 65%, 75% back again. So the problem here now is that since it is flex, I think I have to give it a width of full, because it is just shrinking in size based on the content like this. Still it is not perfect. Let's see. Drop down button, I think I should also give it a width full. Yeah, now it is fine. Yeah, so everything is looking perfect now. Now we will start and create our second page and manage some state. All right, so now we want to save our state, and we want to create our state in category, level, score. We want to manage our state, right? And so for that we're going to use this package called justland, which is basically a simple state management package. So I'll just go out here, I'll copy this, and I'll install the package right here. Okay, so let's go out here like this, and npm install justland like that. In my app directory I'll create a folder called store. So folder called store like this. It will contain a file called index.tsx. Okay, now I can just create my store like this, simple, just as simple as it gets. I will just say use quiz like this. Okay, so I will just create set, it is fine. So this will be config. First let's create a type first. So I'll just say export type config type, and I'll just give it a number of questions. which will be definitely number, category, which will contain this ID of number and name of string. Then we will contain label, which will be string, then type, which will be string, then status, which will be string. So status basically means the quiz is on or not, right? And score, for score, it will be number. Yeah, I don't know why I'm putting everything in this quotation, so let's remove that. Okay, so number is number, like this. So I've created the type. Let's create some default value. I'll just say const default config equals to number of question, which will be 10. So yeah, default config is number of question, which is 10. Then category, which contain like ID of 0 and name of string. Then type, which will be empty string, status, which will be an empty string, and score, which will initial value will be 0. Okay, so now this is fine. Here the initial value will be config initial state. Inside config, I want to spread everything inside the default config, whatever we have there. I will create add label first. So I'll just say add label. So the state will get the state, and here I will get the config, right? And instead, in this config file, I get everything from the state.config, and I will put the label. So the label it will get from here, which will obviously be string, like this. So it will get a label which will be string, and I'll just pass this label inside here like this. I think it will work. So yeah, state will contain config will contain everything inside the state, and then we'll add this one value that we'll get. Nice. Like this, I will create these things for each and every one of others. So I'll just say add score, add category, add whatever. So first of all, add number of questions. So it will get the number, like I will say count probably, which will be number, and I will make number of question to count, like this. Okay, you will get the number, and I will put it here. Similarly, we have add category. So category now will get two things. It will get an ID, which will be number, and it will give a category name, right? So this name, which will be string. So here it will just contain category, and category will just contain ID, which will be an ID, and name, which will be the name that it will get. Okay, I'll just say add status, and similarly I will just add score, okay. So I got 1 2 3 4 5, 1 2 3 4 5, and it's 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4 5. I think it's good. Yeah, so this is what I wanted. Now let's use it. Now for that, obviously I have to like export this use quiz, I think. So I'll just say export default use quiz like this. I'll go to my pages directory. Here I'll just import, there's this way of importing. I'll just say const config quiz config. I'll just say quiz config equals to okay. We can see here we get the default value. Fine. So the state is working properly. Okay, now let's fetch the category. So for that I can go out here. You can see here this is the API that we are going to use, called opentdb.com. so OpenTrivia API. Obviously I will put the link in the description below. You can see here, if I go to the API, then I can see API documentation, and it give me we don't need any API token for this. It's just a public API, we can use it directly. So we have this UI, we have this link, and if I just paste it link, it will give me all the category, I guess. Yeah, so it will give me all the category here. So we are going to use that link to get all the category. I don't need this here. Now let's go to this drop menu, because there is where we should put the category, so we are going to use it here. So first thing is I'm going to create a state. So I'll just say const categories, and I'll just say set categories like this, each equals to use state, which will be an array. I want to give it the type, so I'll just say type sorry, category type is equals to, I'll just say ID, which will be a number, and then name, which will be a string, right? So what I can do here is, in my use state, I can just say category type, it's array of category type. Yeah, so it looks fine. Now let's fetch the data. For that I'll just create a use effect. Now to use all of this, we obviously have to make it a client component. So I'll just go out here and say use client like this, use effect, and it will have a callback. I'll just create a function. I'll just create an unseen function called fetch category like this, and I will say const, it will give me this value called trivia underscore categories like this. I'll just say await, and await fetch. Now we have the link to fetch. I'll convert the value to JSON like this. Next thing, once we get the data, we want to set the data. So I'll just go out here inside an array. I will spread everything that is inside the trivia categories like this. Now we have our categories. We can use those categories here in our menu. So here I will say, instead of this, I'll just say categories dot map category, which will just contain this drop down menu like this. Okay, so drop down item. Now the drop down item will obviously contain a key, which will be, what's happening here, it will contain a key which will be category dot name. Another thing that it will contain is, obviously it will have category dot name here, category dot name. Something else. Okay, on click. So when we click this, then obviously we want to call the value from our state. So let's again import that here as well. So this is const add category is equals to use quiz, import it, it will give me state. I will just return state dot add category. Yeah, so I can use that function here, add category, which will take category dot id and name. So category dot id and category dot name, like this. So it is good. Let's see if it's working or not. If I go to the project, I get the error here for some reason. Let's refresh this, maybe it will go away. No, it doesn't. I have to do 3 dots instead of 2. Still I get an error. So user state is not defined. We have to import the user state like this, and it's probably working fine. I also want to console log the categories to see if it is working. I would rather go into my PS file. I'll just Control Z, and I want to like log this quiz config, everything that quiz config have. Okay, now let's refresh this. Let's see if I get the category or not. If I click here, I get the select category, but I'm not getting any category here for some reason. We'll look why that is happening. If I go to inspect, go to console, I'll get object here which contain everything, but it doesn't contain any data. Okay, let's see. And console log. Oh, I'm not even calling the function, I have to call it here. So that was a weird mistake. Maybe it will work now. Yeah, I think it definitely should. Yeah, I get all of these category here now. If I just select this category of book, now let's see if it changes the config file. So if I go out here, so categories dot name, but I have not. Okay, I get the here. Yeah, I get the ID and the category book as well. Now let's set label and type. Alright, so now I want to add type and label as well. So I'll just create a variable at the top of it. I'll just say const type equals to boolean and multiple. So const label equals to easy, medium and hard. Now I'll go out here, and in label I will just say like this. I just want to import the add label and type as well. I'll just say add label, and I'll also say add type. I can use this function here now. I'll just say on click, I'll just say add label is an E, right? And on type, I'll just say on click, I'll just say add type is A. Yeah, now let's see if it's working or not. So I'll just say, I'll just reload it, just inspect, and if I just select one here, then I get, okay, it's not setting up the type. Say boolean, add type is not a function. Okay, let's see what's the mistake here. So if I go to store, I don't have any add type, so let's just add it right now. I'll just say add type. It will get a type which will be of string, and I just want to add type here. Yeah, let's see, maybe now it will work. Inspect, go to the console, we have the object which is default. Now let's select the type of medium, level of medium. I don't get anything. Let's say type of multiple. I'm getting the type, but I'm not getting any level. Oh, I'm getting the medium level as well. Okay, so everything is working pretty good. Yeah, so I think everything is working fine here and it's good. But now I want to show the value here as well. And the thing is, maybe I want to put an arrow function here, probably. Yeah, I think I should. Yeah, I'll just say Lucid React, wherever it is used. Yeah, I will import it, and in my own file of this select category, I will use it here. And it's not 7 right, it is 1 down, I think. Yeah, now if I can use it directly here in select category, I can just say 7 down. Let's see if it works or not. Refresh it. Okay, it's not working. If I click it, oh no, I should not put it here. I should actually put it on the drop down trigger. Yeah, probably here, and then refresh it. Okay, I get the value is pretty decent. I'll just say category only except of select. Yeah, yeah, justify is between, so I think, yeah, we are good. Now I want to use the same thing everywhere in this trigger as well, like this. I would use the same thing in this trigger as well, like this. Now it looks pretty decent. Second thing is, I also want to get config file here. So from the state, I'll just get config. Right now, what I can do actually is, instead of select category, I can actually say if config has a category, if config.category dot name, let's say, right, because the config contain category which contain name. Yeah, if config category name exists, then I want to show the config category name, and if it does not exist, then only I want to show this category, like this. Let's see. I'll select the category to be entertainment books, and I get the entertainment books, which is great. This is what I exactly wanted. I will use this concept everywhere, so I'll just copy this thing and select label as well. I will just say first try to fetch the label from the config, and if there is a label then show that label, otherwise just say select label like this. Same thing here, try to pick out the type from the config, and if you have type then it's fine, otherwise just say select type. Yeah, so I can just select anything here. I can select label medium here, it will get medium. I can type multiple, it will get multiple. Now I can just start quiz now and it will start working absolutely fine. But before that I need to set number of questions as well. So for that I will copy something like this and then go to my input box. So if I go to my input box, where it is, component button, what is the input? It is in page file, I guess. Yeah, it is here, so I can use it directly here as well, no problem. I'll just put it right here. Instead of add label, it is add, I don't know, number of questions. So number of questions, probably like this. So add number of questions, just copy it instead of making any spelling mistake directly. So Control D. Yeah, now I want this file here. I'll just say on change, and I can just say it will get E, which will get add number of questions E dot target dot value, like this. Now if I refresh this, it will not contain anything. I go to my inspect file, console, default is here. Now choose everything. So general knowledge, easy, boolean, 14. You can see I get every detail here. Category, label, question, score is 0, status is nothing right now, and type is multiple. So yeah, so the configuration part is set up. Now next what we're going to do is we're going to start a quiz and fetch all the data depending on the category and each and every one of this configuration. Okay, so let's create our quiz page. For that I will just go to my app directory. In the root where there is this layout, I'll just create this new path called @quiz, which will so we use this @ for parallel routing. Parallel routing basically means that the layout will get now multiple pages. Let me show you what I mean. First I will create an index.txt file here. Here I will just say C, and it will just say quiz page, and yeah, it will return quiz, right? Now if I go to my layout, you can see I get a children here. Now I will also get this quiz. Also I have to add the type from here to here as well. Now what I can do is I can get that data from our config file, right? So I'll just create config equals to use quiz, and it will just say state, and I'll just return state.config, state.config, like this. And now I can create a variable called let render is equals to, I can just say state dot I just say config config dot status equals to, if equals to start, right? Then I want to show the quiz page that I get here, otherwise I want to show the children, like this. So basically parallel routing means that we get these two pages, this children which is the default page, and this @quiz means this is parallel routing, so we get this quiz here. So we get, okay,
quiz. Okay, so yeah, I forgot. I just saw the error and forgot what I was saying. Basically, parallel routing means that the layout will now contain two children, so this page and this page. So for parallel routing, we need to give this @ and after that, if we provide @ and index dot not index.txt, it has to be page.txt. Sorry, page.txt. Yeah. So now we create this @ quiz, which is the route. Since it is @ which means it will be parallel route, and we have this page.txt and we have this main page.txt, and the legend, the layout, there are two pages, this page and this page, in the same level of this layout. So now the layout will contain multiple pages, so it will get both of the page, and we can just render which page we want to render conditionally. If this start is to this status is start, then we want to show quiz. If it is not start, then we want to see children. Yeah, so that's about it. Instead of this, I will just say render here now. Okay, so if I go out into my page here in this button, so I will also get I will actually get add status, or yeah, I think it's add status. Let's see, I'll just say use quiz, and I will say state equals to state dot add status, probably. Yeah. So now when I click this button on this click event listener, I will just say add status to start. So now we check if it's start, then we just show the quiz page, right? Now if I can go here, obviously I have to make it a client component because we have this event listener here. I'll just say use client, refresh this, and I don't know what I'm missing. Oh, here as well I'm using this use state, so I have to use client, which is pretty fine. Here as well I have used it, so I have to make it a client component as well. No problem, I will use it. I will make it client component here. Use client like this. Okay, now refresh this. I think we have to import it. It is getting imported. I don't know. So here also it is getting imported. In button it is also getting imported. So I don't know what the problem is. So after a couple of investigation, I found out that the reason that it's just directly showing me this quiz page is because I am setting this quiz this status to start directly here without any callback like this, and it is calling it instantaneously, and that is why the quiz page was shifting each and every time. So that was the problem. It took me like 20 minutes to figure it out. So yeah, so the mistake that I made here was a problem actually, and now it is working fine. Finally now in my page, in my layout, I just removed everything, and I just said that configure status. If there is status in our config, no matter what it is, if there is a status exists, then we just show the quiz page, and if the status does not exist, then we can directly show the children. So now after doing this, and after removing that one small bug which just cost me 20 minutes right now, I think we are done. So I will just go out here and refresh it. You can see I get everything. I'll just choose the category, I'll just choose the label, I'll choose the multiple type, and I'll just say start quiz now, and I go to the quiz page, and I will have all the data in my state as well. So you can see here in our store I have category, label, and everything. So now the important part is designing this page. So let's design this page finally. So I'll go to the quiz page. Inside quiz page I will create a section. So I'll just say section, and I'll close the section. Inside a section I can create an h1, but let's give some class name to the section first. I'll just say class name equals to, I'll say flex, I'll say flex dash column, I'll say justify to center, I'll say items to center as well, and I'll just say like probably I'll just give a padding of like 2 or probably 4. Let's see. And another thing that I want to do here is give an h1 tag. So for that I'll go to flow byte again. I'll just search heading component, any heading component you would like. I will pick probably this one, or I think the first one was good enough. Yeah, no problem. What whichever you can choose, whichever you want. I'll just normally choose this, and I'll just put it here and see how it looks. If I go out here, then I get something like this. I can choose category and everything, and yeah, it looks pretty fine for me. I will give some margin to this as well. I'll just give a padding of probably, I'll not give any padding, I'll just give it a margin top of probably 10, like this. Yeah, I will just say this question number, question number, like this, and it will contain hashtag 1, which will be the count of the number. And I also don't want this. Yeah, so like this. So question number 1, right? Next thing I want is to show our score. So I'll just create a paragraph tag here, just a normal p tag, and here I will just say score will be first 0. I will also style it, give it a class name, and I will set text size to be 2xl, like this. Now I got a score and I got my question number there. Second thing I want is another section, section like this. Now for that I will also give it a class name. I will give it a shadow of 2xl, margin y to 10. I'll give padding of 10. I'll give it a width of 90%, like this. Second, I'll just say rounded to large. I'll say flex. I'll give it a flex of column. Second thing I want is to justify content also center. I will also give it align items to be center. I'll give it a shadow color as shadow blue 200, like this. Now I can create another heading. So if I go and search for heading, I can use the same heading. Yeah, I can use the same heading. I don't need to search for anything else. I will give it a h1 tag to h4 tag, so it's a little bit smaller in size. And I can say I don't think I need any of this. What I'll just do is I'll just use this color, text color, and I'll just get rid of this span. Yeah, I want my question to be blue in color, so for that I'll just remove this. I'll show this. Okay, I don't want this as well. I don't need this dark color then, right? Yeah, I don't need this dark color. Okay, I don't know. Let's again revert back. I just want these two styling, text blue 600 and text blue 600 on dark mode and light mode. I will again go out here and remove this span. I will go out here and we have this dark text. I will remove it, and we have this normal text for normal, and I'll just remove it and put that here. Now if I go here, then I should get the question as well. So lucid heading 4 is not defined. I just want h4 only. Okay, so again select some categories, select some label, go out here, and I get the question number, which looks pretty decent for me. I will still decrease its size a little bit less. I'll just give it probably 3xl or maybe 2xl, like this, just to look it, so just to make it look a little bit less. So I'll just give it a 3xl here. And also in medium I want to give it a 3xl. 3xl is a lot less, so I'll just give it a 4xl. Yeah, I think 4xl is good enough. 5, yeah, 5 will be good enough, I think. Okay, fine. So this is the question. I will just say the question number. I'll just say what is the channel name, like this, and you get the question, right? So now what we want is we want answer buttons. So for that, again, I'll go to Flowbyte, I'll choose buttons, and we can choose between any button that we want. So let's use the default first one, or maybe the alternative second one, right? So I'll just choose the button here, and there will be obviously 4 buttons, so I want to wrap those inside some div. So I'll just use div. Div will contain the class name, and class name will be flex. Justify content will be center, or this time it might be I have to give it evenly, I think. So evenly, and items will be center. Now another thing is I want it to have margin y of 20, and I also want to do flex wrap in this. So I'll just say flex wrap so that the button get wrapped if it is larger in size. Yeah, and I also want to give the width full for the button, like this. Now I can put the button here. Let's see how it looks. By default I get 1 button, I actually need 4, 3, 4, like this. Okay, the button is not that bad. I also want to give it a margin from top. Okay, so yeah, this amount of spacing is good. For each button I wanted to give this. First of all, let's change the class to class name. Okay, for each button I want to give it a width of, like, I don't know, 1 out of width will be 1 out of 3 probably. That's a wrong configuration, like this. Maybe rather than this, I can just say take the width of like 30% directly. Okay, it is not taking any width for now. Let's see why that is. For each button I want to give it a width of 30%, right? I also want to give it some padding and everything. Oh, okay, so I'm just giving that comma there, and that was the problem. So rather than 30% I can give 45%, so it will work out fine. Yeah, like this. So we have all these options. Instead of flow, I would rather give it 90%, like this. Yeah, and instead of 45% I think just give it like 33%. Yeah, it is pretty decent looking now. I also want to give it a margin of y to 4. Yeah, now it's a little bit more gap around, and I also want to give padding of y of 4.5. It's really small. So padding y, I can just give it like 5.5. I don't know why this padding is automatically start decreasing instead of increasing, but yeah, I can maybe give it like 3.5. yeah, 2.5 is 5 is good enough. So it looks pretty decent. On hover, I want the color of these things to be background to be blue 600. I'll just give it a blue and 600, like this. So in hover it is blue 600, which I like, and on hover I want the text to be instead of blue 700 I want the text to be white. So I'll just say gray, probably like 100. Yeah, so it looks good now. Okay, so design of button and everything is good. Now let's face these questions and answers and put the score right there. But before that, I also want to create another final button called next, right? So I'll just use the same button and I'll just call it next, and I'll just call it next. It's just that whenever we hover it, it will be a little bit more darker rather than just normal dark. So when I hover it, where is the hover code here? It will be 900 like this, right? So it is blue, but it is extremely blue. Yeah, so there's a difference between these two buttons. Okay, so now I think we are done with this. So let's go out here, and before that also, actually I want to give a little bit more styling to all of this button. I want to remove this border and probably give some shadows. So I will just say border of 0, which means I have to remove this border. Yeah, I don't want any border. What I want is shadow. I'll just say shadow dash blue 200, which is shadow color. I will give it rounded of large. I can give it a shadow of 2xl and shadow of 2xl like this. Okay, so there's 2 rounded large here. Let's remove this and just say shadow of 2xl and probably margin y to be 4. I don't think we need margin y. Yeah, so it looks pretty decent. So we have these buttons which contain all of this information. I want to change the text as well. So instead of small, I want the button text to be large. Yeah, so it looks decent for me. I think it's absolutely fine. Other than that, margin top, I want it to be 10 only, like this. Okay, so yeah, the thing looks pretty fine. Instead of a large, what if I make it extra large? The shadow, right? Where is the shadow? Shadow is right somewhere. Okay, I'm not seeing the shadow. What the shadow styling here? So instead of 2xl, what if I give this shadow to be like 4xl? Let's see how it looks. Oh, it looks bad. If I give 3xl, it still doesn't look good. 2xl is, I think, perfect. Yeah, I think it is good, looking really nice. Now let's face all these questions and answers and show the score and count everything and makes the functionality. For the quiz app, I want a couple of things. So first thing is I have to make it a use client, because obviously I will use our state management store here. So first of all, let's create a couple of states, right? So I'll just say const, I'll give it questions. I'll just say set questions like this equals to use state, import the use state, and here I will just provide the questions, which will be just an empty array for now. Second thing is we want answer, so I'll just say const answer. I'll just say set answer is equals to use state like this. Third thing is I want loading, so I'll just say const loading. I'll just say set loading, and I'll just say use state. So first it will be loading false automatically here by default, right? So next thing is I want const config equals to use quiz, which will again give it state and return the state.config dot state.config like this. And other thing that we get is set score as well. So I'll just say const set score is equals to use quiz, and I'll just get state, and I'll say state dot set score like this. Okay, so we have everything that we need, but there's one change that I need to do to this store, and that is the score card. So if I go to the store here, if I go to this add score, I actually don't need this here. I can directly get the score and just to score value to be state dot config dot score, which will be number plus 1, like this, and it will work automatically. Now let's fetch the questions first. I'll go out here. I'll create a use effect and I'll fetch the questions. I'll just say async functions. I'll just say get questions. And obviously I have to call it so that I don't forget calling it like I did before. I'll just call it directly right here, first thing, and then I can just fetch it. I'll just say const, I will get results equals to, I'll just say await, and I'll just await it here. I'll just say fetch, and I will just return a JSON file like this.json. Now if I go to the API here again for our trivia question, then the API kind of look like let's say number of question is 10, category is this difficulty is medium, multiple choice. I will not say the encoding default. Also generate API URL. Yeah, so we go to API documentation. What is the API URL that I was supposed to get? Again, this and multiple choice, true or false or whatever. Now give me the API URL. Okay, so I get the API URL here. I'll just copy this URL, I'll paste it here. Instead of amount, which is number of questions, I will just put something like $sign this, and I will just get it from config dot number of questions, like this. So category, obviously I have to put something like this, and also say category, config dot category dot id, like this. Difficulty, which is basically a label, so I'll just go out here and I'll just say config dot label, and here type. Like this. Okay, now let's see if the results are available for us. I'll just log this like this. I'll go to my browser, select any kind of questions, and start quiz now. If I go here, then I should get the console log of all the questions. Okay, invalid DOM property class. Anyway, I get all the questions, which is awesome. Let's fix that class problem. So this is class like this. Okay, so it has to be class name. Class name, nice. So it's done. Now I get the questions as well. So now you can see here the question contain format like this. It contain category, correct answer, and it contain incorrect answer, but we want to merge this correct and incorrect answer into one, and we want to shuffle them because we don't want the correct answer to be always in one place, right? So we want to make an array which contain all of this, and we want to shuffle that array. So let's do that. So for that, I want to go to my quiz page back again, and inside here what I want to do is I want to say let shuffled, I don't know the spelling of it, led, yeah, shuffled results, which is equals to results dot map, and I'll write a code that will help me shuffle the array. Okay, so this basically what this code does, it just shuffle the value inside an array, and after this I can just say e dot answer equals to value, which I will just spread it inside a new object array like this, and I will return the e here. I'll just say return the value like this. Okay, so this is supposed to work. Let's see the shuffled array if I get it working or not. So this is console.log. I'll just say shuffled result, shuffled shuffled like this. Let's see. Okay, I get the error. Obviously I have to it has to be 3 dots, always the same error. Nice. Okay, I'll just say general easy. I'll type multiple. Console shuffle results is not defined. Okay, so if I just console.log here, this result or shuffle result which is here, I'll just say let's see. Now if I just inspect it, console, if I go see this array, now you can see here that I have these answers and we have this incorrect answer and correct answer demolition, which is in second place, right? So if I go here, correct answer is Nevada, which is in second place. So now again I go here, the correct answer is cube, which is again in second place. If I go here and the correct answer is again in second place, I don't know why everything is in second place. So correct answer is Monty Python, which is in third place now. So it means it is shuffling, but maybe it got lucky and everything was in second place. I don't know, let's see. But this is the code to shuffle. You can just look at the code and paste it and try it yourself. But yeah, I'll just close it and get moving forward. So now what I want to do is I want to set the questions. So I'll just say set questions, and the questions will be obviously the shuffled results, right? So I'll just say shuffled results. And second thing I want to do is set loading to false, and also I want to say on call got question, which is fine, which means that here I have to set loading to true. So I'll just say set loading to true here, and after it's fetching it on, I want to set it false. Great, now we have got our questions. It's fine. Now we have got our question. Now I think we can show the question here. I can just go out here and I can just say inside here. So basically the shuffled question will contain this, which will be question dot question probably. Yeah, let's see. I will just say questions and 0 dot question like this. Let's see if I get the value or not. So question 0, it contains question 0, and again let's see here what I got. So if I close it and I come back here, I'll just fix these things again, and here if I go to console, class name okay, so there's this problem, but anyway, I think I'm not console logging it. So let's solve that problem first. So class, I'm giving two name here for some reason. So let's just see name. Oh, okay, so this is the problem, and let's just give it class name normal type class name. Okay, so here also I want to log this shuffle. So this console.log shuffle results and see the value, see how it's doing. Inspect it, and see the category and see the value, see the multiple here. Go to console. You can see here we have got all these categories, we have objects, but where is the list of questions? Oh, I have to start a quiz now to get the questions. For that, yeah, I got the question here, and inside this we have question, right? So the question will contain question, and I will just show that value here. So let's just remove it for now, and I'll just say questions, and I want to get the first value of the questions, and probably I can just say questions dot category. Let's see if I can get the category first. Dot category like this, and if I go out here and it says undefined, but for that I think I should first check it. If just say questions dot length, if it exists, then I want to show the questions. Let's see. Okay, I get the category now. So the check was necessary, so I would rather just go out here, and I would rather just say or null like this, and just one question mark, and I can just show questions here. So I'll just say question like this, and I'll get the question, right? And now I want the answers. So answer is obviously like in the same format. I will just go out here, just paste it, dot answers, right? So if I go to the console, okay, so the use effect is running each and every time, so I just need to stop this loop like this. Okay, so the answers is inside answers, fine. Now what I can do is, obviously it will contain config dot number of questions as a dependency, and config dot category dot id as a dependency, also config dot label as a dependency, also config dot type as dependency. Yeah, these are great. Now set questions will actually be an array, so I'll just give it an type of an, I'll just give it type any for now, or just type of array like this, so that I stop getting that error here. Okay, so it's fine, and everything is good. Now I just need to map this. I'll get the answer like this, and I'll just return the button. I just don't need other buttons. I'll just remove those buttons, and so this one here I will also give it a key of answer, and obviously I just want to show that answer here. Just say answer like this. Okay, so there is some error up here. But I know what the error is. Use effect is here. I don't know, I'm getting the error here. Let's see. Okay, the error actually inside here. I'll just give it a type any just for now. Okay, so I just need to give null here, and if I go out here, yeah, I get the value. So I'll just select everything and go to start new quiz. Then we have these two value, and everything is working as we expected, right? So now if I refresh this, we go to the home page, go out here, medium, multiple choice, and we get all the value right here. So it's pretty good. Now I want to create a couple of things. So first of all, I should be able to do next, right? So first let's handle the next button. First, for that I'll just say handle next. I'll create a handle next, but I'll just say on click equals to handle next, like this. I'll call it right here. So I have to create that first. So I'll go out here, after use effect I'll just create const handle next is equals to. So what we will do here is we'll just say let remaining questions is equals to, we'll spread everything from the original question, right? And after that I'll just say remaining questions dot equals to remaining questions dot shift, like this, so that we remove the first element right here. And then after this we'll set questions with the first question being removed, right? So let's say remaining questions, like this. I'll also do set answer and set the answer to be empty after we hit next, right? So the next thing I want to do is check the answer. Now to check the answer, I'll go to this answer button, and here I will just say on click, and I'll just say check answer, like this. Okay, so I'll just create that variable here. I'll just say const check answer. So the check answer actually will take an answer. So inside here I would rather do it like this and call the check answer and provide the answer there, like this. Okay, so the check answer will actually get an answer which will be of type string. After this, what I really want to do is check that if answer is equals to the question's first index and correct answer. If it is true, then we want to set this code, right? If the given answer is a true answer, then we want to set this code. And also what I want to do here is I also want to set an answer of the same thing. So the correct answer, I want to set it so that I can check it and style it. Nice. So we have done it. Obviously I always give 2 dot for some reason. So it's fine. Refresh it again. I'll just say books easy, give me multiple choice. Okay, so I get the question here. Right, now what I want to do is I want to provide some different kind of styling here. So what I actually want to do is I want to use that cn from this leave utils that this component provided. So the sad cdn provided this one in the beginning of the project, right? So we want to use this to provide dynamic class name. So for that I'll put all the class name here like this, and after it what I want to do is I want to provide my own kind of class name. So what I want to do is I want to give busy red 600 if the given answer is right. If the given answer, let's change this value. Actually I think it is better for me, instead of calling this answer I can just call it a and s, right? And I'll just call it a and s as well, just to give it a different name, a and s, right? Not here, not in this okay, so that is a and s, but I don't want to do this actually in this file. I actually wanted to do this in the answer button. So let's revert it back, put everything as it was here like this. like this. Okay, now go back to our answer button. So this is exactly where I wanted to put the dynamic class name rather than other places. So I'll just do this cn. I will provide this class name, which was our previous class name and everything. Here I want to do a couple of things. So first thing what I want to do is I want to give background red of 900, and I'm going to do this in a condition when our a and s is equals to answer, which is our state answer, right? That's why I changed the name to a and s. Now you can see here I'm actually getting the color red. All right, and that is because the answer, whenever the answer is similar, then we get the background color red, right? But I don't want to do that. I want to do it for opposite. So now the 3 incorrect question answer will have the background color red. Also, what I want to do is when we actually have the answer, I want the text color to be white, right? So if our state has the answer, then I want the color to be white like this. Okay, also whenever the answer is correct answer, then obviously I want to make the color to be blue of a button. So I'll just say blue, and I will just give it like 600 or probably like 700. Now if I go out here, I check it, check the type, go out here, everything is red in the beginning, but I really don't want that. First for that I also want to check if the answer exists or not. So if there is an answer and it is the same, and also here is if there is an answer and there is this value like this, right? So we have this default. Now I click it, then obviously this is the wrong answer and this is the right answer, but you can see here the hover effect is still there. So I also want to remove that hover effect. So hover effect, I want to give this 900, right? Whenever this is the case, I can just copy it both at the same time instead of doing this like this, and I can just say on hover like this, and I can also do this on hover like this, and I think it will work absolutely fine, right? So I'll just remove this again. So let's start again, go out here, choose easy, go to multiple, start quiz now, and I can just click on it and I'll get an error. Let's see what the error is about. Set score is not a function. Okay, so set score, where is set score? Here it is. So this is set score, and we get state set score. Let's see. So oh, it is add score, sorry, that's why it was showing an error. I'll just say add score like this. Okay, now finally I think it will work. Again, choose one category, medium, boolean, and choose it, right? So if it is false answer, so we selected the false answer, the true answer was this. On and as I said, do next. Remaining question is not iterable. So let's see. So the remaining questions will contain all the questions, and we want to shift the value. Okay, I should not put this like this. I think I should just shift it, and I don't want to say the shift value. Actually, I just wanted to shift it and just put it value right there. I think that is the best way to do it. Yeah, I think that's the better way to do it. Now I'll just say general knowledge, easy, multiple. Now I get the value, it's the wrong answer. Next is working now, and I got next, it's working now, but my score did not change for some reason, and that's because it's not a dynamic score. Obviously we have to make it dynamic, so I just want to remove this, and I just want to say config.score dot score, and now then it will change, right? Static value doesn't change Okay, fine. So the question number also is there. So instead of question number 1, what it will have is it will contain config dot number of questions, like this, dot length, config dot number of questions dot length, and I'll just say minus, I'll just say remaining question or just questions dot length, and plus 1, right? And if I go out here, I hope you won't mind my Nepali in between, and then I'll just start question. Okay, so the length doesn't exist. I'll just put the question mark over here and here as well. All right, now I can go out here, I can go out here, go out here and start a quiz now. So it is nan, but if I select it next, it's still nan, it's not number, right? Let's see why I'm getting this, because there is no question. So I think what I can do here is if there is question, then I just show this, like, so if you say questions dot length, and if we have that, then we want to show this span, otherwise we want to show nothing. So I'll just put it here, and I'll just put null like this, right? And also put question mark over here like this. Fine. So now refresh it. I'll go out here, I'll choose medium, I'll just type to medium multiple, I'll just select it. Next, I'll select it, and it's fine. Its code is also updating, you can see there. Okay, so everything is working fine, but the problem here is that we are not getting the question number changed. So let's see how we can do that properly. But I also want to remove this next button whenever there is no question. So for that, again, coming back to here, I'll just say if there is no questions dot length, right? If question dot length is done, if there is no question, then if there is question, then we want to show the button. Only when there is a question, then we want to show a button. And here as well, whenever there is a question dot length, then we want to show this. So for that, we're getting the question number of questions. Oh, I have to give the default value, because the number of question is now I think your default value is 10, right? Yeah, it's not length, and that's the problem. Okay, it's just 10 minus whatever. Yeah, I think it will work now. Yeah, so let's get to the medium and multiple. It's still nan for some reason. Okay, let's just see hard and multiple. Yeah, I get 1, and now it will increase one after another, and if I get the answer correct, which I don't think I will get, okay, and I get the answer correct, and I get the score is 1. Fine, I think it is looking pretty good. Yeah, the score is 1, and I get this 0 for some reason. That's obviously because of this. Instead of this, I can just say null like this, and I will not get that 0 anymore. Okay, so I think everything looks pretty perfect. Now I want couple of things, that is our skeleton and our loading and everything. So let's do that. Now the first thing that I want to do is I want to show a skeleton when I am loading all those questions, because if you can see here, then if I just refresh this page, right, if I just choose a category, select a label, select type, and hit enter, then it's just so blank at the beginning for a couple of times. And also this h1 is in the left, I want to make it in center. So the question, what is the question? I want it to be text center, so I'll just put it text dash center, maybe it will come back to center, yeah, like this. Again I want to create the skeleton, so for that I will go to this UI, and here there is this component called skeleton, right? And I want this skeleton to, I want to use that skeleton, so I'll just say copy this npm, and again go to my terminal and install it. So the component will be installed in the component slash UI. After that I can obviously copy it and directly use it in our project. So I'll just import it from here, and I'll just use it somewhere in between. So where I will use it, I will use it right here. So to use it, I will just say that if there is loading, then we want to show the skeleton, right? So I want to show two skeletons, so I will put it inside div and to put two skeleton here. So the first skeleton will have a width of 600 pixel, second will also have a width of 600 pixel, but the first one will have height of 60 pixel and the second one will have height of 500 pixel. Also I wanted to give rounded not full, I will give rounded small to both of it, small, and also I'll give it small to it as well, and I'll also give margin y to 10 for top and bottom. Here I want to give just flex and flex column, so just say flex and flex dash column, like this. Okay, so it looks fine. Now if I go out here and check it out, refresh this, select some categories, select some labels, select some type, and you can see I get the cool skeleton and then I get the questions. So now this is fine. Now when it comes to score as well, I want to show this score only when I have the score. So I'll just go out here and I'll just say when there is no loading, right, and when there actually is questions dot length, then I want to show the score like this, and it will work perfectly fine. Now the final thing that I want is that let's solve it. So I get score 1, let's solve all the questions. Next I'll solve it, I'll go solve it, I'll go and solve it. Okay, so now at this point I actually want to show our final score, and I also want to show some kind of animation. For that we have this thing called loti animation. So for that we will install this animation. So I'll just go npm install loti files and install it right here. Then I can import this player from the file. So I'll just go out here and I'll import this player, and I can use any kind of loti animation using that player. So I'll just say like this, I want a particular one with this style. I will choose this, yeah, I'll copy this and I will provide it over here. So I want to show the player when there is no question dot length, right, when there is no question and when it is not loading. Like this, right, when there is no question and when there is no loading, then I want to show a player. And at that time I also want to wrap it inside a div like this, and the div will contain some classes. I'll just say class name of flex, it will also be flex column. I'll justify to center and also align items to center as well. Then I will, yeah, I think this will do pretty good. Now I also want to give height and width of like 400 pixels like this. So finally if I go to the project and I play the quiz, and you can see score and everything is also working perfectly fine. I get the lottery animation, right? So I want to change this animation. I want to see some better load animation, so I'll just go to this thing called loti files. Okay, so for the loti file I can go out here and I can just say I can go to lotifiles.com and then I can just say like a word, like I will search one good loti animation. Yeah, I think this is great. This is the one. I'll just copy the path and I'll go to my project and I'll just put it right here, right here. And after it I also want to give our s1 tag back again, so I'll just go to this s1 like this. I'll just copy it and I'll just say here I don't want anything, and question number I'll just say your score like this, and I want to show the score here, which will come from config dot score. Yeah, so I think it will do absolutely fine. Now I can just go out here and run my project. Okay, I'm getting some kind of bug. It's probably because I'm not closing it. Yeah, so let's select a category, let's select a label, let's select type, and here first time I will just make it at least 5 question only. So you can see skeleton, you can see the number of question is 6. I'll just go out here. Oh, okay, so yeah, I'll just say next, 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 and you can see your score is 2, and I think it looks pretty good. But the problem actually is in this one particular problem here, that is the number of question. For some reason I'm not getting the number of question correct. Let's give it one final try, and if I can do it then I can do it, and if you cannot do it I hope you can do it yourself and at least teach me in comment section how to do it. So I will give it one final try because it just did not work. So I'll just go out here. It should simply work with like this, like if I get config dot number of questions, and if I just subtract it with the current questions dot length, right, and if I can just add 1, it should actually work. But it is not working for some reason, because the question is an empty array first. So I think it should work. Let's give it a final try and see if it works or not, and if it works then it's fine. If it doesn't work then maybe you can solve it and let me know. I'll choose multiple. I'll let the question or number of question to be 10. Actually I get the value for the first time is 1. Now the score is 1 because the answer become correct. I can choose here, the question is 3, everything answer is correct, so score is 2. Everything is working absolutely perfectly. Go out here, go out here, go out here. I can also go out here, I can go out here, and everything looks perfectly. My score is 4. This is so perfect. The app look absolutely great. One last thing that I want to add is also here. So here I'll just add a button. I'll add any button. I'll pick one button from somewhere like this. I'll copy this button and I will use the button here, but instead of handle change I will just do here window dot location dot reload like this, and here I will pass restart quiz or take another quiz. Like I'll just say take another quiz, take another quiz like this, of like I don't need this 33%, I want to give it a full width. Then I think everything will just work fine. Now Again I'll go back here and then I will let it refresh. I'll go to the project, I will go like television, select question to medium, select type to multiple. I'll just start new quiz, right? And I'll get the skeleton, it will get the data. I'll just start. Score is 1, score is 2. So now question is increasing, number of score is the same because we have not got right now. Score increased to 3 from 2. And just next, I'll just click next, and you can see your score is 3. It looks absolutely great. I don't need this question number at this point, so I'll just remove that. So again, where is that question number? Here. So obviously this h1 will only be there when the questions have length, right? So this questions dot length if it exists then show that, otherwise just show null. Basically I'll just put it right here. Okay, so now I can go out here. One final test, I'll go to the main page. I'll just test it on only 5 questions. This time I'll test on video games, label to be easy and type to be boolean for true and false questions. True, next, false, false, true, false, and you can see it shows your score true, and I got 2 score, and I can take another quiz like this. So I think we are all champions here, and we have completed this whole project. It was a tiring task to do and obviously we make some mistakes and we improve it and we just figure things out. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something new, and I hope it was fun for you to learn about Next 13 and all its cool future. And if you did, then please hit like, subscribe, and whatever you want to do. Cheers, have fun, goodbye.